Has to be said that Prince Harry is possibly, in some people's view, not necessarily the brightest of bulbs. We know he said things where you think, what on earth were you thinking? Recently, of course, Elvis, what's that about? Just leave well out of things that are national treasures. You never want to offend anybody. Part of the thing that I think with Prince Harry, is he's had his own way so long throughout of his life. It's very hard for him to get used to the fact that now people might hit back, kick back, and absolutely say things that are not necessarily what he, thinks they should agree with. You know the sort of person I mean. We've all met them, haven't we? They just think, no, I'm rich, I'm powerful, you'll just agree with me. But when you don't, and perhaps they're falling down a little bit, they're a bit stunned by this. Now, this is the problem now for Prince Harry, because recently he declined the offer to stay over in a royal residence, St. James's Palace. And there's been a lot of and ahhing as to why. We told you, of course, he stayed in a private members club. This was his choice, along with his very small, tight security team. Not a hotel at all, a private members club. Morning, nice to see you. How are you? Not bad, thank you. Now listen, it is a funny thing, isn't it? As I say, when people say things, Harry had the opportunity. Oh, we haven't had a wave, have we? Let's have a quick wave. You all right? You're not bad. Oh, thank you. Yes, well, I'm getting a little bit better. Says the days wear on, isn't it? It's nice that you're concerned, though. I genuinely mean that. Thank you for all your lovely comments. It does mean a lot, because when you're struggling, I know, it's hard, isn't it? Yes, let's not go there. Now, back to this story. This is, as I say, very strange, because I think it's very strange indeed. Harry didn't want to come back over to England and stay in a royal palace because he didn't think they were secure enough. This is a man who could not have and been afforded better security. St. James's Palace, guards outside. What do you want? Now, obviously, he's either paranoid, deluded, or both. But what's interesting about this particular story, and it's really hitting back now, because it paints His Majesty the King in a bad light, basically saying, you can stay in there. What's wrong with St. James's Palace? The reason why he couldn't stay with the King is quite simple, really. It's a health issue. Harry being on a plane all of those hours, you have to think of His Majesty the King, people who were around him, that sort of stuff. He was quite willing to let Harry come and stay. But here's where it gets interesting, because now even major stars are hitting back out at Harry and Meghan. If you remember, of course, the wonderful coronation concert just over a year ago now, well, here's where, again, I found this particularly fascinating, because Katy Perry was a star guest, as was, of course, the singing superstar Motown legend Lionel Richie, and they were all afforded accommodation inside Windsor. In fact, Katy Perry said she was absolutely delighted and thrilled. Even her mother stayed with her. And she said, listen, it was the most exciting thing. We're in a real life castle belonging to royalty with the very best security. Now, this is on record, as is Lionel Richie. And this is where it gets interesting, because obviously those powerful names in the entertainment world will be taken into consideration when once again Harry pushes forward about his security. If it's good enough for international superstars like that, who are instantly recognizable around the world and have basically said the wonderful security they were afforded, it makes Harry's gripe about being concerned coming back here to the United Kingdom, a place apparently that's far more dangerous than Nigeria right now, seem a little tame. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's always the people that you least suspect that literally sometimes just turn it around on you. And for Harry and Meghan, they could never have foreseen that even two of Hollywood's elite, as it were, might come out and speak so candidly. Either way, the battle continues. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.